So I got asked a really good question by a recovering dismissive avoidant attacher, who's basically asking, how do I figure out for myself if I'm being triggered in a relationship or I need to figure out this is a relationship that must end? Such a great question, and I think a lot of people would benefit from learning this for themselves. Firstly, I want to say your self-awareness is phenomenal. I'd start out by saying I think learning about what abuse is really important. Sometimes when we're in a very abusive relationship, we may not even realize it, because when we're in the thick of a trauma bond, we can't often see the forest from the trees. Secondly, I think it's important to also do some somatic work and get used to how it feels when you're in certain relationships, because typically we find that people who have an avoidant attachment, when they get into a closer, intimate relationship that's stable, there is a tendency for them to have big reactions from their head and also their gut saying, danger, run, I need to leave. And learning some of those distinguishing somatics, as well as the next point that I'm going to make, is having a really good accountability team can make a world of a difference. When you're with people who aren't just yes men and women people, that can actually hold you accountable and be like, hey, is this a trigger that's coming up that's telling you to run, versus I actually think you could be in a relationship that's seriously bad for you, is really helpful. The struggle for many avoidant attachers is that when they do get into their fears of intimacy and commitment, there is a tendency for them to sometimes create a narrative that their partner's all evil when in fact they're not, and they look for confirmation bias to leave.